I thank you for the opportunity to present my philosophy of teaching as part of the selection process for the position of teacher in your school. My philosophy in teaching and learning is grounded in the work of cognitive theorists who propose that the best way to engage and motivate children is to use pedagogy that encourages them to learn naturally through social interactions with others and by building on existing knowledge. Piaget's main contribution to the field of cognitive development was to show that a child's ability to understand the world develops in stages. At each stage, the child develops a qualitatively different and increasingly complex type of thinking. Piaget believed that children transition in their cognitive development from birth to adolescence. He also believed that this process is an invariant and universal sequence. That is, all children go through these stages regardless of race and socio-economic status. Vygotsky believed that a child's thinking develops as a result of psychological process based on the interaction of the child with their social world. A key feature of Vygotsky's theory is the zone of proximal development. He suggests that in learning there are two levels of attainment: the present level of what a child is capable of doing and what a child might be capable of doing with help from a teacher. The gap between zone 1 and 2 is called the zone of proximal development. A central element of Vygotsky's theory is scaffolding. This is where the teacher, in providing support for a child, will adjust the amount of help they give according to the child's ability and needs. Vygotsky's contribution to classroom learning is that he has shown us that by scaffolding a child's learning, we can take them from their present stage and provide support to achieve the next level of complexity. From Vygotsky, we also learned that the most natural form of learning is social. Therefore, we should provide opportunities for children in our classrooms to learn in a cooperative and active ways with their peers. The two key moral theorists that have influenced my philosophy of teaching are Kohlberg and Terrell. Kohlberg's contribution to our understanding of moral development in children was to show us that children develop their ability to make moral judgments in a series of stages based on developing self-awareness. They'll also have an innate instinct for what is unfair or wrong, but are influenced by the values and morality of their significant others. Kohlberg's theory suggests to me that my role as teacher is to guide children's development of values and morality by providing them with the opportunity to explore and reflect on important issues. This will allow them to confirm or question their current thinking and to critically examine their reasons for what they think and how they respond to situations in life. Terrell developed what has come to be known as social domain theory. Its basic tenets are that our social knowledge is separated into three distinct domains: the moral, the conventional, and the personal. Terrell's contribution to the field of moral development is to show us that while cultures might vary in customs and conventions, the concept of fairness emerges early in child prior to socialization and develops throughout life. Therefore, regardless of socio-economic status and culture, children can develop positive moral codes of behavior through experience and example. Having an understanding of cognitive development and moral development in children will help me to plan learning activities appropriate to the needs of my students. By pre-testing and observing, I will be able to determine what cognitive level they have achieved and be able to plan the degree of challenge and content required in my lessons. I am aware that primary school children will be somewhere on a continuum of Piaget's stages from pre-operational to formal operational, depending on their degree of cognitive development. So I will scaffold their learning and select content and the degree of challenge accordingly. Knowing how they think and respond to different situations and what motivates them will enable me to attend to their moral behavioural development. In order to support their moral development, I will encourage them to share perspectives, thus enabling them to modify their schemas about what is meant by a just and fair world. This will assist in the development of their emotional intelligence. I hope to promote the ability to respect the rights of others and to develop a strong sense of justice and responsibility in my students. For example, if a grade 4 child is stealing another child's pencils, I would ask him to reflect on how he would feel if someone borrowed and refused to return his property. By getting the child to place himself in the position of his victim and explore how he or she might feel, I'm appealing to his sense of fairness and ability to empathise with others. I would also ask him to come up with an alternative strategy for gaining access to someone else's pencils without stealing. This will require him to apply his cognitive skills for problem solving. In a grade 5 classroom studying recycling, One of the activities I would use in this unit of work would be to get children to investigate the amount of rubbish being generated in their home each week and develop a plan for minimising what goes into the bin by recycling what they can. In a grade 5-6 unit related to economics or business, I would get children to conduct an inquiry into the manufacturing practices of multinational companies such as Apple or Nike. We would explore the morality of how workforces in third world countries are exploited in order to maximise profits. We would also discuss what consumers should do in order to oppose these practices.